Hello, Linda.
Hi there. How
How
are
are
you?
you?
Hello, everyone. Good to
Hello,
be here
hello.
on this beautiful, bright. I didn't realize how much of a drought is going on in the Midwest. Did you see that on the news?
Yeah,
I had no clue.
yeah. In the Mississippi River, I'm not sure where the level is right now, but a couple of months ago, the barges were having a hard time going down the river.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big waterway.
That sure is.
Yeah. But enough about the Mississippi. Let's talk about your book.
Thank you. It's not
This
out
is,
yet. Don't be looking for it.
you know what? Look, and I was thinking about this too. You're promoting a book to a bunch of psychics. So I already tapped into the book, and I'm up on chapter 3, reading it psychically. And just to let you know, page 56, paragraph 3, there's a typo. So the book, and I'm going to show the title on it in the beginning: Unveiling the Extraordinary, a Comanche psychic's medium, a Comanche psychic medium's
Medium.
journey through life, death, and beyond. And personally, I went, that's an amazing title. And
Thank you.
a number of the people in the comments said the same thing.
Thank you.
So obviously you tapped into something.
Yeah. Well, my guides helped me. They didn't give me a title for a long time. I kept asking them. And I could not get nothing.
Yeah. So why did you want to write
Even
this
yesterday,
book?
I was finishing, I'm doing some final inputs and stuff. And yesterday, it just flowed out of me. It was so intense. And I even missed I was supposed to do prayers and I missed it. I was so busy.
Wow.
I'm going to do prayers today.
Yeah. Yeah. So does that mean another book is coming?
I don't know, but psychics and stuff have told me there's another book coming. Patty McLean, who was my astrologer psychic, who predicted the 2 sons, the 2 husbands, she told me I would be, talking like become a teacher or somebody that people would seek. And I'm like, what? She saw me on stage and I thought, ooh, show business. And I was 30 something when she did the first read. That was the best read. But she used to say to me, you're going to write a book. And, I was not interested in writing a book. I'm not a writer. But when I remember when they talked to my ear and told me to do the YouTube channel, I thought they were great.
Yeah.
And then everything worked out like, whoa, I guess they were telling the truth. Then they told me I was going to write this book. And they've been on me like flies to you know what. Write the book, write the book, write the book. Basically, it doesn't matter if it's a #1 hit. I'm self-publishing. Sure. What it is just kind of my story and what I discovered, if anything, because there's a lot of mediums who've written books, a lot of psychics, same thing, different day. My story is a little different. But what it does is it tells you, #1, there's no such thing as death. And #2, listen, get out of your own way. Life is for the living, but be quiet and realize it's Eckhart Tolle stuff, but it's even beyond that.
Sure.
Because I used to tell people when I would do mediumship readings, well, I'm back to reading now, if you can believe it. I told people that, you know what? If I could bottle up what your loved one is feeling right now, if I could bottle up that sweetness and that love and that omnipresent energy, you wouldn't even think twice about them. You'd be like, oh, they're lucky. They're on the other side. Right. You would not mourn them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I truly, I think that is so true. We just have to get out of our own grief and sadness because we miss them and we feel the pain, but they're not feeling any of it.
They're not feeling.
So
they are actually sort of surprised. Because when they get to the other side, they're like, why are they grieving so hard? I'm right here. But, that's easy for them to say because they're in a different realm. They are in complete consciousness. We live in
Yeah.
unconsciousness.
So when they transition, is there do you sense that there is different adjustment periods for different energy levels as they
Yes.
transition?
Yes. Yes. Now, some people won't be able to, like suicides. Some people won't be able to connect to their loved ones right away. Suicides are not condemned in hell. I mean, it's pretty awful if you take your own life. It just shows you that you didn't think well of yourself. But and it depends. Like someone like that's pretty evil, they go in sort of a purgatory energy. Sometimes they have to work it out. They have to understand who they really were on Earth. A lot of times, people who are ugly, not naming any names, Trump, they are very surprised that they weren't king for a day. They go over there and they're nobodies. They're nothing. They're nothingness, and that'll take a lot of adjusting for him.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. He's got a lot of adjustments that need to happen, in my humble opinion. So, when you were writing this book, did it flow real easy to you? Were you fighting some of the?
I was doing this and that, starting, stopping. And I kept telling them, sit me down, give me that energy that I need. And when it really started to happen was May of last year. Or no, this past year, May. I was in Malibu with a good friend of mine. And normally I can't stay gone long from my family because I worry about the dogs and everything.
Sure.
But for some reason, I was so comfortable that it just sort of, then I knew. I had my conceptual outline. I knew exactly where I was going.
Yeah. And so no hiccups once you had that outline.
No, and Tana really helped when she flew out here. She knows how to publish books. She self-published because I'm not interested in getting a publisher or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just want to make it, sell it, so people can have it, or gives a lot of them away. But it's sort of a self-help, but not quite. I don't have, now you need to not eat sugar for 3 days because that's against my religion, you know.
Eating sugar or not eating sugar?
Not eating sugar is against my religion. So, no, but it's not about diet even. It's just about my story. And it's more in detail because you guys have heard a lot of my story. And, you know, about my stand-up comedy and the things, and about my childhood. I managed to make it flow. Because before I was here, there, the blah, blah, blah.
Right. Was there something that you found that really surprised you when you were writing this? Like when you're in the middle of doing this, did you come up with any surprises that go, oh, I didn't think that would happen, or any revelations or anything that just kind of?
Most of the revelations I've had have been ongoing from the beginning, when whatever it was contacted me while I was walking the dog, and I gave my life over because I thought I was going to die from cancer. And I gave my life over because that guy, he said in my ear, what are you doing? You know, there's no such thing as death. And as a nurse, I saw a lot of bodies transcend right out of their skin. And I said, and I got embarrassed. I said, yes, you're right. And, you know, my boys were young, so they must have understood my anxiousness.
Sure.
And so I handed it over. I said, into thy hands I commence my spirit, so to speak. And right then and there, something happened to me. I talk about it in the book. But I was so overwhelmed, vibrating like I was electric, and couldn't get off of it for like 2 days. And I couldn't get the smell of the earth, like a rain, like a first rain, that beautiful smell.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it off my hands. Now my friends that are native, they said the smell of the earth is a sign of healing. So I'm wondering if I had a spontaneous heal at that time. Because the cancer's been gone now. over 10 years.
Wow. Excellent. Yay. Yay. Let me see what else I got here. Let me see. So is there something that you would, is there any one specific thing or two things that when people read this book that you want them to walk away with?
Well,
Like a message?
yeah, I'm not just, if they're open to the message, it will come. It's not up
Okay.
to me saying, gee, I hope you read this and change your whole life based on, no. That's just like me. I wasn't ready for the message till 2009. And
Right.
this awakening that's happened, it's just hitting some people. And then if it gives some people hope and not to be so fearful, because fear is the major, it puts you in a state of resistance.
Right.
Like even right now, my friend, you know, Andre.
Yeah.
My astrologer. I think he's pretty correct in what he sees. And a lot of stuff he has said is coming true. And he definitely sees this nation getting much better, 25, 26. And yet I still get people saying, oh my God, check out this astrologer. And what she or he says about Trump, like some Vedic astrologer says Trump's going to win. And it's like, you know what? I remember back the last time in 2020, there was two men, astrologers. I don't know how I landed on their page. And they were sitting there showing charts saying, see, clear as day, Trump's going to win hands down. Right. They had like 200,000 subscribers. So that kind of upset me a second. And then I went back into faith and said, nah, I got to trust my guides. And sure enough, what they said was wrong. So if you want to be in a panic state and decide that anybody that says something different, that's your deal. But there's a lot of people out there that are standing strong in the realm saying, no, we refuse to let this become a fascist country.
Sure. So what I'm hearing from you, even though you say that, no, whatever they get, whatever they're open to, I'm not like putting out anything that I hope they walk away from. But what I'm hearing is what you hope they walk away from is don't walk in fear.
Oh yeah, fear will screw. I was raised in fear. I was raised being afraid of my father. And what a waste of life. But I was a young kid. I didn't know, when a grown man beats the fudge out of you, there's this weird energy because you knew he loved you, but he just was an angry, very, very violent person.
Yeah, and there's people. I mean, my wife is one of them. She grew up in such an abusive household.
Yes.
Christmas trees flying. They would make a bet on how quick the Christmas tree would fly across the living room, and it didn't stay up over a day. I mean, it was just knocked down.
Yeah, we never had anything flying like pots and pans. We had bodies flying.
Yeah, and they had that too, and it's just and that kind of healing takes a lot. And where your path led, and where I'm sensing that this book goes, is how one person can be healed from that kind of childhood.
Yeah, that was huge. What happened to me? Yeah.
And you just gave it up to spirit and said,
and being raised by atheists. My parents were atheists.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no concept until I saw Jesus when I was 8 years old. That's a whole nother chapter. But yeah,
in that chapter,
get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that chapter, by the way, on Jesus. No punctuation mistakes. It was perfect.
Thank you.
So I am super excited. One more question before we get into some current events. So for people who are waking up, there's a lot of messages and that I've been getting about turning down the noise, writing, not so much a book, but writing in a journal and getting quiet and listening to guides, listening to your guides. Is there, besides that, the turning off the noise, is there anything that, any advice that you would want to give to any newer or experienced psychic mediums?
No, because each one does their own thing. Each one has a purpose, you know. And also,
Hmm.
the harder your life, sometimes you tend to be closer to the realm because in your suffering, you will see God. And that's the truth. So, those of us that
Yeah.
have suffered a lot, sometimes that's part of what we had decided to come here and suffer because it's tough. But
Yeah.
no, I would not dare to think I should give advice to other psychic mediums. I can only just tell you my story.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
I tell people, you know, when I read people, some people keep going on the same record, you know, over and over and over, but,
Yeah.
or even a lot of heartache with family estates. You know, my brother ripped us all off. It's so sad. But but the parents on the other side, they're not worried about the money. They're worried about the soul of the brother because he just
Mm,
messed up his own soul path.
right.
But
Yeah.
you've got to get, because me, I was always mad at my dad and blamed him for everything until one day I stopped. I forgave him. I didn't forget, but I gave him no more power over me. And that
Yes.
was such a relief.
Yes. It's amazing how much power we put on the negative and saying, okay, I'm going to forgive you, but you still keep thinking and you still revisit and you still relive, which is
Yeah,
giving that more power. So
exactly.
yeah, just let it go. Awesome. So I did have some. So thank you. Are you going on a book tour?
No.
Because I have a guy in Utah that has a van, a shuttle service, and I talked to him. He said, "Oh yeah, I'll help her out."
You got,
I said, "Will you clean the van up?" And he goes, "Well, I think that's part of the package."
well, I've had a van service that took me to the airport, bragged about being married 9 times.
Yeah, that's the same guy.
Oh, can you put this on pause 1 second?
Yeah, hang on. All right. So let's do a little bit of current event questions. We got
Okay,
some
sounds
great
good.
we got some great questions. So thank you all for putting those in. Um,
And you notice sometimes I think, well, why am I still doing YouTube? Because it's always repeating the same question.
yeah,
But that's when I get the nudge that says you're supposed to help them calm down. So we just need to reassure people.
right, right. And there's a shift I'm feeling
A shit?
because a sh- yeah, but it'll wait. I got my adult diapers on. I'm
There
okay.
you go. You're all
There we go.
set like Trump.
Too much information? Yeah, probably. So, speaking of Trump, should we just get the one Trump
Yes.
question
Oh,
out of the
that's
way?
wonderful. Yeah.
We had, so the cool thing was, I was telling Linda this backstage, was that out of all the questions, there was only one Trump question,
Wonderful.
which means to me that we're moving on from that knucklehead.
Yeah.
Um, we did get some politic questions, but so the one Trump question: will he be around for the GOP nominations? Will he be around?
I want to go as clear as I can without my automatic knee jerk answers. Trump be around for the 20. I'm feeling yes. I was hoping he wouldn't be.
Mm.
I think he'll definitely be found guilty for the January 6th, not January 6th. Yeah, January 6th, and for the other one in New York. But there's nothing that says somebody who's a criminal can't run.
Right. Right.
Biden's going to win hands down, you guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So with Trump, so I pulled 3 cards on it. I feel like he's like in his own mind, but I got the walking away card, the 8 of cups, and I got the 9 of swords. That there's
look at this, the tower blown out of the tower, and the 7 of swords. So yeah. I was feeling yes, but it could possibly be no.
And what I'm also feeling is we got to be careful who the replacement is. McCarthy got kicked out, and then we get MAGA Mike in there, and he scares me. He is.
Yeah.
He's kind of creepy.
But also, somebody was saying if Nikki Haley goes up against Biden, she would win. I don't see that.
I don't either.
Because unfortunately, she's a woman. And, I think President Ford, when he told a young little girl, she said, will there ever be a female president? He said, well, I'll tell you what, it'll be a male president with a female vice president. And something will happen to him that he has to stand down, and the female will take over. And he said, after that, look out, because it'll only be females after that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it would, there's a Keb Mo song about women taking over the world. It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. All right, let's move on. We'll stay with politics a little bit. This was an interesting question. Will we have a Democratic majority at the end of 2024 to certify the election?
I feel yes.
Yeah.
But see, the new people won't come in until 2025.
But will there? Yeah, and I think the question is, will people?
But I think because of January 6th and Trump getting found guilty, and that catapults Jack Smith to get all these insurgents in Congress, on their ass.
Mm-hmm. I just feel I got this feeling that Hakeem Jeffries is going to be the Speaker of the House before the end of this term.
I hope so.
And that would be, because what we got now isn't working. They can't manage any of this.
Oh, listen, did you feel we're going to have a shutdown? I think we will.
I'm still holding out hope that they're going to figure something out.
Or at least an extension.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what he presented, it's just really sad.
Yeah, I haven't heard what he has presented recently. I can't believe they're on vacation again.
Oh, of course, they always take their vacation.
Yeah, and I'm like,
they would have been talking trash about Biden if he went on vacation.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, yeah. It's crazy. And I love that Elise Stefanik, I think that's her name, wrote an 8-page document to something against the judge in the New York case.
Yeah.
Ethics complaint. And I'm going, why don't you spend that time fixing...
coming up with a budget, keep us open.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they want to make Pete Buttigieg pay him $1 based on... I mean, they're just awful.
It's horrible.
It's just, it's the gonads on these people.
And even the president's press secretary, Pierre, somebody.
I love her. She's so cool.
So good. Yeah, pay her $1. What? What does she do? What does she have to
Also,
do with
she's
it?
government. She gets a certain salary. You can't just decide, oh, they get $1. But these people are just, who are they playing for? Because a lot of Americans don't like this stuff.
Yeah. So I've got a neighbor, Republican neighbor down the street, and they're not MAGA. They don't talk politics, although they are pretty strong Republicans. And yesterday, we were talking. He goes, "I'm going to have to vote Democratic." He goes, "I can't vote for these guys. I mean,
They're cray cray.
they're crazy." So
And the other thing is, I'm hearing from people all over the United States who are telling me, my son finally called me. He said, no way am I voting for Trump. There's a lot of neighbors that took their flags down.
yeah, it's just nuts. You know, in Congress, it's a big eye opener, and we are gonna change a lot of the laws that are allowing
This kind of
some
stuff
of
to
this
happen.
stuff.
Like that
Yeah,
idiot that's not voting in military leaders.
right,
We'll change
right.
that law.
Oh yeah, and then this budget thing where we're not going to pay our military.
And they're over there right now. The Navy's over there. And oh my God.
Yeah, so it's going to backfire on them real quick. So,
But let's talk logic. Logically, I have faith in the United States of America. I meet more good people than bad people. What would make people think that they're going to put in this guy who's this alleged fake, huge rating, who talks openly about taking away our democracy?
yeah,
And news networks that dare say anything about him. Who would want that?
yeah, it's
I
beyond
think
me.
the whole poll thing is not, and somebody was saying they call landlines these polls.
Oh,
They don't call cell phones, they call landlines. And to me, that's pretty much telling you right there. It's a bunch of old folks. Nobody has a landline anymore. I do, but that's because I'm old.
that's because you're old. I don't, because I'm young.
Yeah.
I think I'm 6 months younger than you.
Oh, okay.
I'm really keyed in on that tech. I used to be so keyed in on tech. I mean, I worked in the tech industry. I taught editors how to run digital software editing machines, like for Star Trek, Paramount.
And now
I can't figure out how to turn on and off a computer.
well, when the boys were young, while I was in Scotland, a lightning hit a pole and blew out my, I had AOL at the time that did the phone thing.
Yeah.
I went down to a place and bought the part and fixed it myself. Now, as soon as my son walks in, fix this.
Yeah, right. And they do that. All right, let's move on. Speaking of Congress and some of these cray-crays that are going on out there, I've always thought that it was Putin's influence on a lot of these people that are making them do, hang with Trump and do that.
And a lot of fake news from Putin.
Yes. So some people think, and I happen to be one of them, that, well, I don't think the cards were showing that he wasn't on the planet anymore. But I think his machine definitely is still running. All the oligarchs are going, no, we don't want to stop the money train from flowing. So they're still in power. Do you feel that the Putin regime, the machine, fading away in the next year or two?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
25, 26, he's gone.
Right. And do you think that will allow, that is allowing more Democrats to walk away from their staunch Putin position?
About hating him so much?
Well, about dealing with Trump and saying no, we're sticking with Trump, like the Lindsey Grahams or
You said Democrats. You mean Republicans?
Republicans. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. When Putin goes, I don't know if Trump is still around. I mean,
Yeah.
when he's technically gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, Putin really did everything he could to help that SOB. And
Yeah.
he ran him. You saw the look on Trump's face when he came out of a meeting with Putin. And all of it was hidden. They had to destroy any notes. You weren't supposed to take notes.
When was this?
When Trump was president and he met with Putin. Do you remember the look on Trump's face?
No.
Like he was
the
just
first.
told by Putin, you need to start doing this more or that. He was following the rules of Putin.
Yeah.
But for Trump to say Aragon is a smart man.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. And, and even talking about Hamas as smart, strong, powerful, it's like, well, I mean, they are powerful, but, they're for destruction. They're not for unity. They're not for any kind of solution, which is what the Republicans seem to be, is just tearing everything down without a solution or without anything in place. I mean, they still don't have a healthcare plan presented, do they?
Yeah, I'd love to know that healthcare plan. He said it was going to be, it was going to be the best healthcare plan. He played his accordion, the best ever.
The best ever. All right. Okay, here's a put your future hat on.
Okay.
Andy Bashir, the Democrat in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Do you see him running for president or senator in the near future? Not near future, in the future after Biden.
Definitely. I'm feeling more senator. I don't know why, but
Okay.
I'm feeling more senator. But I got to tell you something. When people get upset, remember what a wonderful thing it was last Tuesday.
Oh my
How
God.
we even got rid of Moms for Liberty. They lost everything. Everything.
Yeah. Moms for Liberty.
I just love it when they say, oh, the red wave is coming. Watch this, sucker, while I pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Yeah, right. Right. All right, let's shift out of, well, let's do one more.
Okay.
Somebody was asked politics. Someone was asking about the youth vote, the split in the youth vote due to the Hamas-Israeli war.
Yes, and people are saying, I'm not going to vote for Biden like he's president of Israel.
Okay, that's exactly what I thought when I hear people saying, protesting. I go, this isn't our war, although we do support Israel.
Right, but also he's told them you have to follow rules of war. And you can't be taking over that side of but they won't listen to him. But here's a good one. Right. Douglas just presented a budget where he's not giving any money to Israel or to Ukraine.
Wow.
So, okay. But that takes the heat off Biden, because in a way I felt him telling Netanyahu, by the way, Netanyahu's being taken down. He is hated.
Yeah.
Even by his own people. And yes. I feel him saying, you know what, dude? This is ugly, ugly, ugly. You are overstepping your bounds. Yeah. That's what I'm feeling. And I see Biden doing something significant as far as, we love you, dude, but you are not following regulations of war. They may be horrible people and awful, but you are not. Somebody wrote me and said, well, Hamas makes the Palestinians pawns. They have to stand and be the in between. You know, so it's like Hamas is using the Palestinian people. And I said, correct. I said, but that's still no reason for Israel to just blatantly bomb innocent women and children.
No.
That's still no reason.
They
I
can
understand the anger of Israel, and it's just awful what these people are doing, what they had done. But also, I have a very good friend that was there and talked to the assistant to Netanyahu. This was several years ago, and she told him at the time, "You better tell Netanyahu to stop treating the Palestinians so bad." So this has been going. Caged animals will not stay caged, especially human beings, unless you live in North Korea.
Yeah.
So.
Well, listen, I know you need to go at 11.
Thank you.
So we're almost there. So let's we didn't get to any earthquake questions. So if you could just scan the globe, anything in the Pacific Northwest, Italy, East Coast, Italy,
and I see Northwest, more towards Alaska, maybe even out in the ocean. And I feel mid-California. I've been feeling that. 2023 is almost over with. But I see, but nothing that's going to take us down.
Okay.
So what about you? What'd you see?
Stop talking about the middle part of California. So let's do, you know, and I think there's something going to happen. And I don't know, when I was pulling these questions, I wanted to look at the East Coast too. And so I don't know if there's something going to happen on the East Coast, but that popped in when I was writing down.
I saw a horrible snowstorm.
So maybe, yeah. You know, the thing is, we're getting all these earth changes, and just be as prepared as you possibly can be.
Yes, get your foods and everything.
Right.
Get your Linda G YouTubes downloaded so you can watch me at all times of day.
Absolutely. All right. Anything, let's one for the collective. Any advice for as we let go of the weekend?
Well, my guys just said something interesting. They said, you know how I always use the word honor? They always use that word honor. Honor yourself and love yourself as we love you too. You never think you're not worth it, because you always are. You're here to commend you and to lift you. All you have to do is ask. That's what I heard.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Beautiful Sunday.
We got to make this more often.
I'd love it. All right.
All right, honey.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.
Peace and love.